Hello, everybody. Welcome to Personal Development Friday. Today is just me, and I want to chat with you about overwhelm when it comes to all the things that you have to do, because this happens to me all the time. I'll look at my to-do list and I'll look at, I've got to-do lists everywhere, and I'll look at it and I'll think, oh my gosh, like where do I even start? Because there's so many big things, small things, just so many things. And then I end up not doing any of them or distracting myself or taking the dog for a walk or just whatever. I don't do all the things because the whole list is so overwhelming. There is a trick to get yourself out of this, and I want to share that with you today. And this is called the three buckets. And one of my amazing coaches kind of taught me this, and I use it regularly now. So the three buckets. So if you find yourself in a position where you are overwhelmed with all the things that you need to do, this is a very quick, very easy way to laser focus yourself and know what you need to do now, what can wait, how to prioritize your time in order to actually get things done and to get out of that, oh, I'm so overwhelmed, I can't do anything thing, because I get into that trap, and maybe some of you do as well. So the three buckets are, the first bucket is deal with. The second bucket is called negotiate. And the third bucket is ignore. And that's like my favorite one. So let's talk about each one. But if you have a piece of paper and a pen, or if you write notes electronically, however you do it, if you just take a fresh sheet of paper or fresh note and write down those three buckets. So bucket number one is deal with, bucket number two, negotiate, bucket number three is ignore. And when I say ignore, I mean ignore for now. And then if you have those written down, if you take your actual to-do list, you can start putting them into one of those three buckets. And then you'll very quickly realize what you need to do, what can wait, and then prioritize your tasks from there. So let's talk about each one. Bucket number one, as I said, is deal with. I have notes over here. That's why I'm looking, because I would forget. Bucket number one, deal with. So these are simple box checking things. These are tasks that can be delegated. These should be 20 minutes at most. Okay, so that's the deal with bucket. So go ahead, put some of your tasks into the deal with bucket. And if they can be delegated and you have someone that you can delegate them to, awesome, delegate them. The second bucket is called negotiate. And this is the one you really want to think about. This is problems that are complicated. These are things that require brain power. This is problem solving. This might require some collaboration, like meeting with someone else. So these are big brain tasks, kind of big thinking. It's not simple box checking stuff. It will take longer than 20 minutes to do. So what are these things? And in this bucket, I want you to have 2 to 3 things. No more, like most 4, but really ideally you just want 2 to 3 things. These are things that move the needle in your business. What are those things? Put those in the negotiate bucket. And then everything else can go in your ignore. And then look at it and go, okay, I've got 5 things in my deal with, knock those out, and then focus on your negotiate, because all the other things can wait, because you've put them in your ignore bucket, ignore for now. You've put them in there. Give yourself permission to deal with them later. That might be tomorrow. That might be next week. It might be a month from now, but just put them somewhere, set them aside, give yourself permission to know that they can be ignored for now, and then you'll look at them later. But right now, what needs to be done right now to box check what can be delegated, but more importantly, what goes in your negotiate bucket? What is going to move the needle? What needs problem solving? What needs your brain power, your attention right now to move the needle of your business? How does that sound? Another way you could do this, if you don't want to, start a fresh sheet of paper, is you could go to your to-do list and you could mark each one, and you could say, okay, so posting on social media, that is deal with. That could be delegated, or it should take less than 20 minutes. maybe it's coming up with a presentation on SEO for your local chamber of commerce. That would be negotiate. So just some examples, depending on what you do. So you could go to your current to-do list and you could write next to each thing, 1, 2, or 3, or you could say deal with, negotiate, ignore. But really what I want you to get to is to a point where you have your 3 buckets and you really are focusing on the negotiate stuff. And I am literally, after I finish this, I'm going to go and do this for myself, because there's a handful of things that are that should be in my negotiate bucket, and I keep putting them off, and I can't, because they are going to move the needle. So I'm going to go now and look at all of my stuff on my to-do list, and I'm going to do this exact same exercise and make sure that I am putting my time and effort into the things that are moving the needle, that need my brain power. I'm either delegating other stuff, I'm box checking other stuff that'll take me 20 minutes or less, or I'm ignoring it for now. So I hope that's helpful. I've used this multiple times. It works really, really well for me. And let me know in the comments below if that was worthwhile. I'd love to hear what you thought. And thanks so much. Y'all have an awesome rest of your Friday. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see y'all next week.